ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first episode of the Zander Rice Show. This is it. This is the first episode. Can't believe we're doing this, but it's happening. We're live. We're on the air, and who knows what is going to happen. You see, I'm holding the microphone like this because if I hold it like this, I think it sounds worse. If I hold it like this, it might sound better. I don't know. Maybe I'll switch back and forth. So you might hear a little bit of audio scuffle. You know, it's all part of the experience. You know, where does the word experience come from? Let's talk about that word for a little bit here. Now, shall we? The word experience, the root of the word is expere, which derives from the Latin root word meaning a large giraffe. Now, say what you want about giraffes, but they are yellow and they are very, very tall. I, for one, am not a giraffe. I'm average height, but I make up for it in other places. So, what do we have to talk about today on the Zander Rice Show? Well, there's a lot to talk about. We can talk about my new room setup. I got some things going on here. I'm actually going to be doing a room tour very soon. But Zander, you might say, what exactly is the ZRice Film Show all about? Or, I keep saying ZRice Film Show, the Zander Rice Show. What is it all about? Didn't you already have a podcast? Well, yes, I did. I had a podcast before. It was called the ZRice Podcast. It was a lot of fun. I mostly did it because, like a lot of people, we were looking for things to do during quarantine, during those quarantine times. And so I was like, you know, I'll start a little podcast. So every week or so, we only did like 8 episodes, I think, but every week we had a different guest. I had my sister on, I had some friends on, and it was a lot of time. I would Zoom them from across the way, because, you know, we couldn't see each other in person or anything like that. I'd Zoom them from across the way, and we just have a good talk, 45 minutes to an hour and a half, shooting whatever we wanted to talk about. I try to interview people that were related to the YouTube sphere, so I had my good friend Heath on it, who also makes videos. Check him out at Rower Studios. He doesn't make too many short films. He hasn't made that many short films recently, but he's more switching to the animated side of things. He's a big-time drawer, big-time animator, and I think that's what he wants to. That's what he wants to continue doing. And hey, props to him. I still can't animate for nothing. It is very difficult. I have tried all sorts of things: hand-drawn animation, computer animation. I just can't do it. I can't get myself. I don't know. It's like stop motion in a way. I can do stop motion. I have done stop motion, but it's just, I don't know. It's a mind-numbing process. It takes so much time. It takes so much energy. You have to be so particular and petite and precise in your edits and your cuts and just the way that you want the characters to move. And it takes a while. Hey, when it's all said and done, and if it's done right, it's done beautifully. Some of my favorite movies are animated. Some of my favorite movies are stop motion. Some of my favorite movies are stop motion animation. And I don't know. Mr. Heath is doing a great job, so I'm very proud of him for that. But back to the old podcast. Yeah, I interviewed my good friend Kai, who's a car YouTuber. I shouldn't even say YouTuber really anymore. He kind of does it all, pretty much. He's car enthusiast, car filmer, car experts. Just his whole life revolves around cars, pretty much. And he's been booked to do so many different car shoots. He told me the other day actually that he's fully booked this entire month of June. And I was like, fully booked? Like, I'm not going to see you at all, buddy? And he was like, I don't know, but he's fully booked, whatever that means. I don't know. He goes to a lot of car meets. You know, when people like park their cars and you can like take pictures in them. Sometimes you can get inside of them if you want. Stuff like that. And so people will come up to him. They say, hey, you got a big old nice fancy camera, which he does. It shoots very high 4K quality, something that I don't have and I've never had. but they say, hey, how much does it cost? How much is your rate? And he gives them a number. They say, okay, I'll meet you next week at this location. Bring your car. And he said, I will. And then, bam, starts filming. I actually joined him on a little joyride for one of his shoots about a year ago. And hey, it was pretty fun. I see why he does it. He makes good money, meets good people, and he likes doing it. He likes cars. It's kind of his thing. But maybe we should save that for a podcast with Kai himself, because the Zander Rice show doesn't have to be just a one-man show. No. I want this to branch out a little bit. Some episodes are going to be me by myself, on a slow day, I guess. But I want to have other friends in it. I want to have other family. I want it to be not the ZRice podcast, because that's in the past. We talked about a lot of YouTuber stuff and making jokes about COVID or whatever we were doing. I haven't really watched those back a whole lot. So whatever we were talking about. But, I want this to be a different experience for sure. And I don't know. Are we off to a rocky start, folks? Is this not entertaining enough? I want to put this on Spotify, so if you're listening to this on Spotify, thank you very much. But also YouTube, because YouTube is my bread and butter. Let's talk about YouTube for a little bit. I started YouTube back in 2014. That's right, 2014. This channel was born July 2014, so we're coming up on that big 10-year anniversary pretty soon, actually. I have a lot of things planned, a lot of things cooked up. I don't want to give anything away because I want it to be special. But I was going back and forth. I was like, I think I want to do either a month-long celebration of just everything, and have a couple of videos come out every day celebrating 10 years of ZRice Films, big milestone and all that. Celebrational videos, throwback videos, nostalgia videos, compilations of good memories and old moments, stuff like that. Or maybe I just do a ZRice Films a week. Hey, if a month is too long to celebrate, maybe we'll do a ZRice Films a week. A video every single day for 7 days, kind of like Content Explosion Week. Oh man, maybe I can't do that. We do another thing on this channel called Content Explosion Week, where it's 7 days, 7 videos, and they're all crazy, pretty much. The food reviews to vlogs to last Content Explosion Week, we put out an actual movie, Snakes. Our movie Snakes came out during Content Explosion Week. So yeah, okay, maybe we can't do a 7-day extravaganza for ZRice Films 10th anniversary. I mean, we gotta do something a little different. Hey, and I'm always, this is gonna be on YouTube, I'm always up for, suggestions and stuff like that. So if you have a suggestion, please, for the love of God, please leave it in the comments. Let me know. Hey, maybe that's another thing we do on this podcast. Fan submissions. Hey, what if you got a question? Submit it in the comments. I'll read it on the next episode. How about that? Man, I should have been prepared for this a little more. We're already 9 minutes in. My goodness gracious. But yeah, talking about YouTube for a little bit. Why did I want to get into YouTube? This is the Zander Rice show, so I'll indulge myself for a little bit. Why did I want to get into YouTube? There's a few reasons. Two big ones being I've always loved movies and I've always wanted to make movies. I've already given the two reasons. This is okay. I've always loved movies. That's reason number one. Ever since I was a little kid, there's a couple movies I fell in love with very early on. That would be Pirates of the Caribbean. I loved Indiana Jones. I loved Back to the Future. Those three were like my bread and butter. And they probably might still make my top 10 today. If you really forced me to make a top 10 and jot them down, they would probably make it up there. Those three movies, Pirates number one, Indy number one, and Back to the Future. I really liked Back to the Future 2 a lot at the time. I couldn't stop watching it. Distant dystopian future, Biff taking over the world. That was my shit. Sorry, cursing word. Excuse my potty mouth. But yeah, so I like that, and I was like, I want to do something like that. So my first movie, this is even before ZRice Films even started. My first movie was a Lego Indiana Jones. Get this, stop motion movie, and the title of it was literally called 7-Year-Old Makes Lego Indiana Jones Stop Motion Movie, and it got uploaded to my mom's YouTube channel at the time. Back in, so if I was 7, 2010. So technically, my YouTube career started in 2010. I uploaded a few silly videos on my mom's channel, I believe, as well, on another one of my mom's channels. Please don't go out there and look for them. They're very old, and they have me singing and they have me dancing in them. I know they'll resurface one day. Somebody will use them and clip them, but please don't. Please. They're so bad. So embarrassing. You ever had a video that you're just so embarrassed of and you just want it to go away forever? Those are those videos. I uploaded a few videos. I shouldn't even say on what channels there are. Now you guys are going to probably go look for them if you're listening to this. But hey, there's some old videos of me out there. Let's just say that. I've been on YouTube for a lot longer than you might believe. So all of that happened, and then 2014 I finally decided to start my own adventure, start my own channel, and thus ZRice Films. Let me get real close in here. ZRice Films was born. ZRice Films was born. That's some good ASMR right there. Hello guys. This is the ASMR part of the podcast here. That's my favorite kind of ASMR. That's it. I probably blew out my mic, but are we good? Audio levels good? Sorry, if I keep looking down, I'm looking at the audio levels right here. I got my mic plugged into my computer, which is recording this through GarageBand. So the video clip you're watching, if you're watching it in video form, is actually silent, and I'm gonna just line up this audio clip with the video clip, if you know what I'm saying. I'm giving away all my secrets here. My goodness, this is like the most unprofessional podcast of all time. Speaking of which, I have this bag here, this Star Wars bag. Star Wars, speaking about movies, we got Star Wars. My favorite character, Rey, is on the front, along with my second favorite Star Wars character of all time, Finn, FN2187. But these are things I'm going to be selling soon. Selling my pop figures. I'm going to be selling a lot of these action figures up here. I sell them on eBay, sell them at the swap meet sometimes. But that's the name of the game, is selling. It's another thing that I like to do, is sell stuff. I like to buy stuff that I don't need, and then I get to sell them for less money, and I lose money on it. That's like my favorite thing to do right now, actually. Ooh, bam. Heartbreak Kid, Triple H. I might sell those. Do I really need them? I don't think so. Mick Foley, he's going to be sold. Napoleon Dynamite Pop. Oh, shoot, he's falling apart. He's falling out right here. Uh-oh. Napoleon Dynamite Pop figure. Gonna be sold. So yeah, these are things that I don't need anymore. Maybe we should move on to our next topic now. We talked about YouTube a little bit, my origin story, how I got my start, why, Lord. So let's talk about my daily life. This is the Zander Rice Show. So the reason why I'm selling these things is because, one, my mom just I was gonna say got evicted. No, kinda. No, not really. My mom has to move away from her house right now, and it's a big family house. Been there for many, many years. I currently live in my own place, my apartment, so I don't live over there. But she's moving out, and a lot of my shit is still there, just from when I lived over there. You know, because I lived there for quite a while. I live in California, so it is expansive out here in terms of rent. So a lot of people just live with their parents, and you know, nothing wrong with that. I didn't really want to, so a couple years ago I moved to LA, and if it were up to me, I would have stayed up there, but There was a bad roommate situation and lack of funds, and I said, hey, you know what? I'm gonna come back down to San Diego for a little bit, but when the time is right, I'm gonna ramp up. I'm gonna get back on my feet. I'm gonna go back to the old Hollywood, and that's still the plan. To be honest, that's still where I'm at. Where I was only in LA last year. I was living there last year, so it's been about a good year and a half. Not even a year, not even a half. It's good. It's been about a good year and a month, a month or two since I've lived in LA, and getting back on my feet a little bit, trying to save up some money. And it's hard saving money. You know what I'm saying? You live in California. It's unless you make a ton of money or you get a ton of tips, you're pretty much screwed. Uh, so yeah, it's tough. What was I going with this? What are we? We started talking about Star Wars, and then 2 minutes later, I'm talking about how I'm like a broke bitch. Uh, what were we talking about? Oh, like my daily life. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. So, mom's moving out of the house. Got a lot of my stuff there, and I don't really have room for it, to be honest. Again, apartment here. It's a pretty decent sized apartment. I still want to do that apartment tour for you guys once my room is complete the way I want it to look. Um, but yeah, don't have a lot of room. Don't have a lot of storage, and point number two being, in fact, if I am moving back to LA, and I will, and I'm going to, I'm going to have to downsize real bad, because if I get a roommate out there, it's going to be half the space. If I get a small apartment, small studio in there, it's going to be even a quarter of the space, so no matter what, I have to downsize. No matter what, I have to get rid of everything that I own. And it's gonna be very hard. So there's gonna be a lot of swap meets. There's gonna be a lot of eBays coming up next. Hey, I might even do. I don't know. I don't know. Facebook Marketplace, offer up anything. I'm just looking to sell my stuff. If you see something on my shelf, let me know. Send me a DM or something on Instagram at ZRice Films. I'll give you a good deal on it. I might even give it to you for free. I don't know. I don't care. Pay for the shipping. We'll figure it out together. Just come and talk to me. I'm an open man. I'm an open man. I like to talk about things. Maybe that's our segue. Talking. I The reason why I like to do this podcast is because I just like to talk. I like to talk to people. I like to talk to things. I think talking is very important. I think communication is key. And yeah, yeah, pretty much it. Um, yeah, communication is key, definitely. And don't fuck up. Just don't. Just do good. Anyways, wrestling. Oh my gosh, look, what is that over there? Is that Rob Van Dam and Brody Lee and Stone Cold Steve Austin on my shelf over there? Is that what you were saying? Is that what you were thinking? Segue. Let's talk about wrestling. I love wrestling. It's like one of my favorite things ever. I don't watch it as much as I used to, and I say used to as in like a month ago, because this is past month. There's been a lot of stuff that's been going down, and I haven't had a whole lot of time to watch wrestling. But I used to watch Monday Night Raw on the weekly, and we used to watch SmackDown on the weekly. I especially used to watch AEW Dynamite every Wednesday. And there was a point where I watched Dynamite and Rampage and Collision every week because I was so into it. I was an AEW fanatic. Been to some of the shows, been to some pay-per-views. Um, I was all about AEW, man. Um, and it's such a shame to see the state of AEW it is in currently. WWE is currently killing it. They're killing the game. You got Cody Rhodes. You got LA Knight. You got Chad Gable doing his new heel turn gimmick. You got Rhea Ripley. She's on the sidelines right now, but don't worry, she's coming back. You got Dominic Mysterio. So many superstars. Randy Orton is still going strong. Kevin Owens. So many. Nia Jax is killing it. Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax. Believe it or not. I think she deserved it, to be honest. So many people are killing it in the game right now. CM Punk. CM Punk is back. One of my favorites of all time. I have an action figure of his right there, over there, too. Um, so many. Drew McIntyre. Everybody's killing it in WWE. Everybody's striving their best, pushing it to the edge. And don't get me wrong, there's people in AEW that always try hard, and people that still put on pretty good matches in AEW. That seems to be what it's kind of turned into now. I mean, I guess it always was about, hey, let's put on the best match we could possibly be. And I think that's how AEW got over in a lot of the ways. They won a lot of fans over. Moves you wouldn't usually normally see, antics you wouldn't normally see on WWE, things that just wouldn't happen. Blood, chaos, carnage. That's what AEW has. WWE does not have blood or anything like that. It's not as extreme, not as violent, and I think that's what drew. That's what drew me, because I'm a big ECW guy. That's what drew me to AEW in the first place. I said they can do that still. Cody Rhodes can take a headshot like that. Cody Rhodes can get lashed by a belt. Blood and guts. What's that? Anarchy in the arena. Oh my God, that's crazy. A lot of different kind of things. The extreme realm of wrestling really interest me, and I think that's what AEW really brought to the table well. And technically, they're still doing that to this day. They put on still some crazy matches, but again, that's all that they do. It's matches. It's matches, and not as much storyline as there needs to be. There's stories if you really follow it closely and you really know the ins and outs of the characters and online drama. I guess there's stories out there, but it's more about matches. It's more about putting on a good match rather than telling a good story. And I think that's the problem when it comes to AEW. 100%, that's the problem. 100%. Because, I don't know, WWE, again, gonna sound like a broken record here. They're killing it. They're killing it. And, yeah, I hope the best for AEW. Because I used to really enjoy watching it. I used to enjoy watching it with my buddy. We used to watch it every week, all the time. We went to the shows. We went to this LA show at the Kia Forum last January, and it was a good time. The main event was in the ladder match between the Elite and Death Triangle. My buddy did not like the Elite at all, aside from Kenny Omega. And at the time, I was a big Elite fan. I'm not gonna lie, I liked him. The Young Bucks hadn't gone horrible for me at that point. I was much bigger Kenny fan though. Always have been, always will be. But that was a great match. And then we also went to AEW Revolution, which was in San Fran, which is a bit far from where we're located currently. So it was quite the big drive, and she drove it, and yeah, we had a good time there. Revolution was awesome. Still, maybe one of the best, if not the best. Well, it was the best wrestling show I had ever been to. And segueing to WWE, because this year we also went to Philadelphia, WrestleMania in Philadelphia. Night 1 and Night 2, WrestleMania 40, the Big 4-0. We saw LA Knight, Rhea Ripley, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, The Rock, Seth Rollins, Snoop Dogg, Undertaker, John Cena. Everybody was there. You name it, they were there. All the legends, all the stars were out tonight. I think T-Pain was there. I think T-Pain was in the audience, so that was pretty cool. That became my new number one. Revolution was probably the best wrestling show I'd ever been to, because the main event had that 60-minute Iron Man match between MJF and Bryan Danielson. I thought Bryan was going to win it. He came so close. I was like, we're going to have a new AEW World Champion, and it didn't happen. MJF won, and he continued to have a great title reign. It wasn't great till the end, or at the end, but hey, what are you going to do about it? But yeah. Anyways, enough about wrestling. If you're not a wrestling fan, then you probably have no idea what I was talking about right there. I just love wrestling. I've been watching it ever since I was a little kid. And my favorites growing up were Bryan Danielson. I loved CM Punk. Loved Undertaker. And these guys were all still wrestling there full time. And those are like my top three in that era. I loved AJ Lee as well. She was awesome. But yeah, wrestling. If you don't like wrestling, don't watch wrestling, you don't understand it, I would say give it a shot. Give it a chance, especially now because the wrestling is back booming again. And not saying that everything that is booming is a good thing. I think this is going to be controversial. I think Stranger Things had a big boom with their last season, and I just didn't really get it. I didn't really get the hype. I watched an episode or two of the last season, and I stopped watching it. I think I just lost interest in it completely. Big fan of Stranger Things 1 and 2, seasons 1 and 2, and then 3 came around, and I was like, okay. And then there was big gap between seasons 3 and 4. And I think it just kind of lost me, to be honest. Hey, listen, I was a Stranger Things fan as much as the next person. I loved 11. I loved everything about season 1, the whole aesthetic, the whole vibe, 80s vibe, kind of murder mystery thriller serial killer vibe, mystical almost. It's a science fiction show above everything. Bit of a horror vibe to it as well, a horror show, science fiction horror. And everything about that first season is perfect. I think every episode is perfect in season 1. Season 1 of Stranger Things was one of the best shows ever made, hands down. Season 2 continued that. I think they just got sillier and sillier as they went on. I can't give my full review, my full opinion on season 4, considering I stopped. But I know that the final season is on its way this year, next year. I don't really know anymore, but it's coming. And let me know what you think. Should I finish season 4 of Stranger Things? Is it worth it? I know a lot of you guys are going to say, yes, Xander, you're crazy. Because I've heard really good things about it. And maybe I'm the weird one for not liking it. But hey, you like what you like. And I told you my opinion was going to be controversial. So, there you go. Oh, man. It's actually a really beautiful day outside. The sky is very blue. There are no clouds in it. Not from my window. But it looks pretty nice. Half of my view from here is a building. So, but over the building, I can see the sky, and it looks very nice. And I kind of want to be out there now. Maybe we'll have an outside podcast one day, and we'll look at all the people going by, and we'll make fun of them for the way they walk, or something like that, or what they drive, which would be funny because I don't have a car. That's pretty ironic. Man, excuse me one second. I'm gonna get a water bottle, but I'll be right back in 1.5 seconds. Here we go. Ready? Time me. And go. Already back. Is that 1.5 seconds, guys? Jamie, pull that up. Is that 1.5 seconds? Guys, like this custom ZRice film sign behind me? LED. No, I don't think it's LED. I'm just kidding. But it's very nice, though. I actually like it with the lights off better. I think it looks better without the lights off. I'm not kidding. That's why it's not turned on right now, primarily. I think it looks better. It's kind of like that. I would like it to be centered more like this. Oh my god. But hey, what are you going to do about it? So, here at the Zander Rice Show, we like to talk about a lot of things. We like to talk about money, wealth, fame, fortune. This is actually a business financial podcast. So, you come on here, everything that we just talked about is irrelevant. This is where the true podcast begins. It's actually a business podcast. So, right now we're going to be talking about stocks and funds and wealth, time, money management, stuff like that. So, what do you invest in? I personally, I've put a quarter of my money, which is $250,000, into McDonald's. And let me hear me out, guys. Hear me out. McDonald's offers a great program where if you put in a penny, it saves it for you. You put in another penny, it saves it. And you might be saying to yourself, isn't that kind of how a stock works? And I would tell you yes. But McDonald's is important because they have Ronald McDonald. And Ronald McDonald is their mascot, the clown looking guy. He kind of looks like Tim Curry a little bit. And he's very cool. He's not creepy. He doesn't turn into a spider or anything like that. Ronald McDonald is safe. And he has a very welcoming presence. He says, come on, children. Come inside the McDonald's play place and eat some chicken nuggets and shit yourself in the slide. They say, come on and do that. And who do you see next to Ronald McDonald? You got your boy Grimace, the Grimace Shake himself, Grimace Man, Purple Man, the fine purple people eater. Grimace Shake, the Big Grimace, the Big G. I like to call him. I call him Big G. I call him Big Grim. Big Grimace Shake. So you got Grimace there. You got Grimace, and next to Grimace, next to that Big G, right next to Grimace, you have Grimace's friend. So you have Ronald McDonald, you have Grimace, and then you have the Hamburglar. And the Hamburglar is he's not as cool. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. He's not as fire as Grimace, my boy Big G. All right. You don't see a Hamburglar shake. They don't celebrate the Hamburglar's birthday, okay? It's Grimace time, and it's Grimace every time. Grimace got his own shake. Have they ever had a Ronald McDonald shake? Have they ever had... Who are the other freaking people in the McDonald's gang? I only know Grimace, Ronald, and Hamburglar. I know there's a couple other ones. Let me pull that up. Let me pull that up real quick. Jamie, let me pull that up. McDonald's characters. All right. Here we go. McDonald's wiki. Oh my god, there's 56 characters. All right. No, okay, there's a couple main ones here. Of course, you got Ronald McDonald, you got Big G Grimace, you have the Hamburglar, you have Mayor McCheese, that's who I forgot about. You have Officer Big Mac, all right, and Birdie the Early Bird. That's like that bird lady. But there's 56 other characters. Oh, Mac Tonight. Mac Tonight's a good one. That's that moon guy with the cool glasses. Blather. Who the hell is Blather? Blather is the first mate of One-Eyed Sally. Okay, and the second pirate antagonist of the Legend of Grimace Island. What the hell is the Legend of Grimace Island? Okay, now we gotta spiral into that. The Legend of Grimace Island. Coming in 1999, an exciting new video adventure, Ronald McDonald and the Visitors from Outer Space. What? No. That's not Grimace Island. Okay, it must be an animated thing. I mean, it is it's like an animated thing. Okay. There's Cosm MC, there's Franklin, Fry Kids, Pinchworm, Sunday. There's a guy named Sunday. Let's take a look at him. Sunday is Ronald McDonald's talking pet polar bear. Oh, Jesus Christ. He looks horrifying. He only appeared with a lead character role in The Wacky Adventures of Ronald McDonald. All of his other appearances were in some 2000s commercials with Ronald McDonald, but only as a real dog until 2019. A real dog. So if he wasn't a real dog, he was a fake dog. This Sunday guy. That's a little disappointing. Imagine being told, hey, you're going to be playing a fake dog. Sunday was probably like, what does that mean? Why can't I be a real dog? Why can't I be a real boy? And there's like, hey, Sunday, you got to calm down there. All right. Listen, we could send you off to China and you could be hacked up and eaten. But you're a big-time movie star here. You're a big-time dog. Fake dog. You're going to be a fake dog here in Hollywood. But Hey, so you better like it. You could like it or you could leave it. That's what they said to Sunday. I was reading it from the computer right here. Actually, that's exactly what done. That's how Sunday got his start in Ronald McDonald fame. Yeah. So yeah, put all my stocks in the McDonald's, $250,000, and you might be saying to yourself, well, if you put up a quarter of a million, or a quarter of your money, which is a quarter of a million, where did your other three quarters of your million go? Um, that all went to Jack in the Box. I said McDonald's is the big player, but you don't want to upsell yourself. If there's a main stock you want to go to, if there's a main one that you have on your radar, you said this is going to make me the most money. You don't put all of your money into it. You don't. You save that for the lesser stock that you don't think you're going to make any money out of. And I don't think I'm going to make any money out of Jack in the Box, but I put $750,000 of my $1,000,000 in it. Who's the real fool here? You for not understanding what I'm talking about, or me? I think we all know the answer to that. It's you. Because Jack in the Box it's revolutionary. You got Jack's meal. You got Jack's Munchie meal. I just went to Jack in the Box last night. Water break. Sorry, that was 1.5 seconds actually. I just went to Jack in the Box last night, and I got the Jack's Munchie meal. 2 tacos, a mix of the onion fried, right, the swirly ones, and French fries. They said, hey, do you want a sauce with that? I said, can I get... Shoot. Stone Cold Steve Austin fell. I said, can I get some honey mustard? And she said, sure, baby girl. And I said, thanks. And that was that. I went on my way, and then I got a large drink, a small drink, different ends of the spectrum there, and I went over to the drink station, and it looked like, this is a completely true story by the way, and it looked like those AMC drink stations. You go into the movies and you see those nice Coca-Cola machines. They have a million bajillion flavors. Well, now guess what? Jack in the Box has those too. I guess they can thank me for that because I put $750,000 of my $1,000,000 in their stocks. But hey, I ain't taking the credit for all that. I stay humble. But if it was me that was paying for that, I want everyone to thank me. I stay humble though. So I got a Sprite vanilla, and I didn't know how I was gonna react to that. But when I tell you, it was pure bliss, the most purest form of bliss that I have ever had in my entire life. It was Sprite vanilla, and I thought I couldn't get better than Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream, and it didn't. It wasn't better than that, but it came darn close. Sprite vanilla is, if you were to say, hey, sum up Sprite vanilla in one word, I would say Christian. Because Christians, they're a devoted folk to God. And when I drink Sprite vanilla, I feel like I want to become a Christian boy. I want to become closer to God. Because if God made everything, if God made the world, He made Sprite vanilla. And who wouldn't want to live in a world without that? Right? I'm sure there's a lot of things that you guys think, hey, Jesus made that. God made that. I should be thankful for that. Sprite vanilla is one of those things for me. I had it last night at around midnight. And I haven't been able to take my mind off of it. I didn't get any sleep last night. Not because of my other problems, but because I couldn't stop thinking about Sprite vanilla and how I just loved it so much. I love the taste of it. My goodness, was it delicious. Water break, 1.5 seconds. What's another thing that's good? If we're talking about Jack in the Box, we have to go back to McDonald's for a second. I think McDonald's has gone down in quality. As a child, I couldn't wait to get McDonald's. And yeah, my family is a little obese. I'm gonna say it straight up. But we were also very broke as well. We weren't exactly lower class, but we weren't exactly upper class. So you could say we were in the middle, but we were on the lower middle. I would say for a while there, we were in the lower middle. I remember my mom. I don't know if she'll like me saying this, but I remember she would literally count her pennies just to get us food at McDonald's, and she had her cup holder in the car was filled with like change, and she would literally count her pennies just to get us some kids, just get some kids some Happy Meals. And as a kid, I loved that. I loved getting a Happy Meal. I loved getting my toy. Didn't matter if it was a boy or a girl toy. I don't care. I swing both ways. And those are the best times right there. Happy Meals. So I guess I could say, as in my old age, maybe the joy has gotten taken out of McDonald's. Maybe it's not as joyous anymore because, like I said, that was it. That was like going to McDonald's was like going to Disneyland at that point. I just couldn't wait to go. And hey, that might be a little obese sounding of me as well, but hey, we all have our moments. We all have our weak spots. I wanted to go to Jack in the Box last night, and we went. Excuse me. My goodness. What is wrong with me? I haven't had, like. What the hell? What the hell is wrong with me? I usually only get like that when I drink a bunch of energy drinks, which I haven't. I haven't drinking any energy drinks today. Yesterday I splurged a little bit, and I had a cold brew and 2 Celsius cans. And it kept me awake till about like 2 a.m. today. And I woke up at like 6 a.m. So 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. That's like 20 hours I was awake on all that caffeine, which is not a long time. Usually if I drink more caffeine than that, I don't know. It just wasn't hitting. I think I've become immune to caffeine. Anybody who knows me, or I guess if you've seen if you've followed me for a while, I used to drink a lot of energy drinks in my videos. A lot of them. A lot of energy drink related content. I made this Monster Energy video with my sister Zoe, and we're making Monster Energy Jello. I've done videos where taste testing with 10 different energy drinks. A lot of different videos like that, and they were all really bad for you. The videos weren't bad. I think some of them were pretty funny, but energy drinks in general are very, very bad for you, and that's just normal consensus. Same with Starbucks. Same with coffee. It's all bad for you, really, if you think about it. For people who get that stuff every single day, like me. Hey, I'm not off the hook. I'm talking to myself now. This is Xander. You got to wake up. I'm being my own therapist right now. It's all bad. I know it is. There's some things there's things that we all know that we shouldn't drink or that we shouldn't eat, or maybe we shouldn't smoke or stuff like that, or vape, or it's all bad for you. It just makes people feel better about themselves, or feel happy, or a little bit of a release from their day. Or hey, as for me, the reason why I drank so many energy drinks, the main reason, and it's true, I just like the taste of it. My whole life, good 17 years of my life, I drank nothing but like water and soda, and that was pretty much it. So when I had an energy drink, I said, this tastes a little different. It's not exactly soda, and it's definitely not water. It's like a whole new thing. If you drink a Sprite and you drink a can of Monster, there's a difference. They both look like piss. And one could argue that Monster Energy tastes like piss, because it kind of does. I'm not going to tell you why I know what piss tastes like, but that's not the point. The point is, it's all bad for you, and I know that, but I still enjoy it anyways, because I don't drink, I don't smoke, but I do abuse the hell out of caffeine, and that's just kind of my drug of choice, I guess. It's not as bad as it used to be, I remember, and this is a very personal story, but hey, this is the Zander Rice show. We get personal on this show, okay? We get personal about stocks, all right? We get personal about stocks and finance. Well, anyways, let me tell you about my caffeine video, my caffeine adventure. Um, we were having a fun night with friends. People were drinking and stuff, and I said, "Well, I want to drink too, but I don't drink." So I said, "Well, I have all these energy drinks here," and so I just started chugging them. One monster down, two monsters down, three monsters down, four, five, six, and I'm pretty sure I got to eight drinks. Might have been nine, but I got to 8 cans, and I was on my eighth can. That is a crap load of caffeine in there. I think each can has like around like 165 milligrams, and the daily human limit the intake you're supposed to cap is like 500, around 500. So I was way over that limit. So I was on the danger zone for sure. So I had 8 of them in a row within the course of maybe an hour or two. And I said, I don't feel anything. I don't. I'm not energized. I I'm not tired really. I'm not sleepy. I'm not drowsy. I just don't feel anything. It's just my body was completely normal. I didn't poop myself. I didn't shit myself. I wasn't pissing like a horse. My body just took it. They said, "Hey, you want to drink 8 energy drinks? Fine. We'll just take it." And I thought about it that night, and especially the day after, and I said, I might have a problem here. My body is so used to being amped up on caffeine all the time. I drink 8 and it's no problem. I don't even feel it. It's like drinking water. And at that night, I 100% drank more caffeine than I did water. And that was a big turnaround moment. I remember I went cold turkey for an entire month. I said, "Hey, next month, no energy drinks. None. Absolutely zero." And that, at least the first week of it, was absolute hell. I was so tired, so drained. And I was going to work, and I was going to school, and I was living in LA, and I was exhausted. I didn't want to do nothing. I was just like, yeah. And yeah, so that was really tough. Going cold turkey on after you've been addicted to something. It's not easy. It's not easy being green. And I was definitely green from all that Monster Energy I was drinking. I was piss green, if you know what I mean. Hey, yo, that rhymed. That was pretty cool. But yeah, it's just rough, man, and I don't wish that on anybody, really. I don't want anyone to be addicted. Obviously, people are going to be addicted to stuff. So it's out of my hands, but if I have to leave you guys on a high note, I would say don't get addicted to things. Put all of your money into McDonald's. Start that YouTube channel that you were thinking about doing. Make those cool videos that you want to do. I just recently opened my TikTok again. That's another thing we can talk about. TikTok, is it getting deleted or something? I heard something somewhere that it's going to be shut down. But I feel like that conversation happens every couple months or so. I don't know. But I got it back. The reason I deleted the app itself. I didn't delete my account, but delete the app itself is because my videos kept getting flagged and taken down for all sorts of reasons. This music's copyrighted. You can't do that. You can't add that in your video. Dangerous acts are being performed in this video. It goes against community guidelines, and stuff kept getting taken down and down and down. I was losing followers. I said, my goodness gracious, this is way too much. Why am I going through this? Why am I putting myself through this? So I stopped, and that was it for a while. And then recently, I don't know what came over me. Maybe it's an urge to be more out there, be more myself, be more unique, be more creative, have a different outlet to focus on things, just like I'm doing with this podcast here, talking to you guys. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. Hopefully you guys are having a lot of fun too, but that's why I started my TikTok. I wanted to start something else, start something new, fresh, new beginnings, and that's the theme this month. New beginnings. So yeah, like I said, put your stocks in that McDonald's. Go out to the beach and do a bonfire like I just did. Go out and do that. Just have fun. Just live your life. And it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be all right. Yeah. Anyways, this has been, we're almost to the hour mark here. I think I should cap it. I think this is a good first starting episode. If you like this and you want to see more, of course leave a comment. Of course do that. If you don't leave a comment, I will come to your house and give you a Christmas present. I'll give you a big kiss on the forehead. Ah, man, that's all I really want. I want someone to give me a kiss on the forehead. Wait, what? Anyways, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. My name is Zander Rice. Thank you for listening. If you just listened to this, just have my voice on in the background. You could probably fall asleep to it. People have told me I have a very nice sounding voice. Just kidding. No one has ever told me that. But hey, I could dream. In Dreams by Roy Orbison is the theme song. That's the song of the day. Song of the day is In Dreams by Roy Orbison. Alright, so song of the day, In Dreams by Roy Orbison. Goal of the day is invest your money into McDonald's. And quote of the day is think it, dream it, do it. So yeah, those are the words I'll leave you on. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the YouTube channel ZRice Films. Subscribe to the second channel ZRice Films 2. Subscribe to the third channel Supercharged Wrestling. Subscribe to the fourth channel ZRice Fights. Subscribe to the fifth channel Extreme Backyard Fighting. Subscribe to the sixth channel Wet Knife. Subscribe to the seventh channel Dumb Warfare. Subscribe to all of that. Subscribe to my brother's channel Wildest Entertainment. Subscribe to my sister's channel Zoe Donuts. Subscribe to my OnlyFans at ZRice Films. Subscribe to my Instagram at ZRice Films. Check out our website, ZRiceFilms.com. Buy some merch at ZRiceFilms.com. Check out our Facebook, ZRice Films. Check out our TikTok at ZRice Films. Anyways, my name's Zander Rice. This has been the Zander Rice Show. Thank you, everybody, for watching episode 1. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.